welcome everybody. I'm your host, Intake Manifold Gasket. Today, we're going to be doing an inspection of a used engine oil filter. This is the Napa Gold 1394. This came off of one of my customers' vehicles, a 2001 Toyota Echo with a 1.5 liter 1NZ FE engine with 126,000 hard-earned miles on it. This engine oil filter was in service for about 8,000 of those miles, and he used Pennzoil Platinum high mileage full synthetic oil, and we're going to see how well this filter did in 8,000 miles of service. Well, before we get this filter all cut open, we can take a look at it here. The gasket seemed to have held in place just fine. It did not stick to the filter housing, so that prevented any kind of issues with double gasketing the new filter on there if you don't look and see. Obviously, situations can vary, but this one held on just fine. Let's see if we can pop that open. Seems to be like a nitrile rubber construction, and she is on there good, but we can get it off there. Yeah, decently thick gasket. Kind of hold my pick up to it, and kind of a better reference, a pocket screwdriver tip. So decently thick. Still a little bit pliable, but definitely hard. And we can see, looks to be about 8 inlet holes, and you got your main flow hole right there for the oil flowing back into the engine. You can see the anti-drain back valve there. Let's see if I can give you guys a light, better look inside. I know that's not coming out well on the camera, but not seeing anything too crazy in there, just seeing some used motor oil stuck at the bottom. But yeah, let's get this bad boy cut open and get a better look at everything in there. Definitely got some oil seepage going on there. And she looks to have held a lot of oil. Jeez. Did not expect that at all. Thought I had this sucker drained out pretty good. I am pretty impressed with that anti-drain back valve. Let's see if we can pull it all out in one shot. Let's see, we still got a little spring stuck down there in the bottom. That bad boy out. Very, very taut spring. Pretty impressed with that. But yeah, you can see we held a lot of oil down in there. Do see some sparklies. Nothing too terrible. Sorry about the glare from the light. Interesting. Do see some crud built up in there, but nothing that's going to make me say, oh my god, your engine's going to blow up tomorrow. But definitely interesting. Take a look at the bottom of the housing. Got some crud built up in there, but nothing too disconcerting. These filter pleats are pretty taut, pretty crushed down and stuck together. It's almost like they got cooked up a little bit. A little bit pliable, but still kind of surprising how tough those all are together. So, looks to be just a silicone anti-drain back valve. Nothing seems to be stuck to it that I can see from the eye. And this is the integrated bypass valve. Little spring in there. Don't see any chunks or crud stuck in there. Looks like she was doing her job just fine. But now I'm starting to see some gunk stuck on the filter itself. You can see down in there, metal core of louvers. You can see either what seems to be glue or something built up in there. Here, let me get this sucker drained out a little bit more, and then we could take a better look at things. Well, after letting her drain out just a little bit, I went ahead and did the liberty of counting out all the pleats, and it looks like starting from the metal crimp seam right here, it is a 39 pleat construction filter, which isn't a terrible number for the size, but honestly, I'm kind of not very impressed by that. I figured from what I've seen out of Napa Gold, I figured there'd be more than that, but you know, I guess for the size, it's kind of splitting hairs there. But now that I've let it drain out and get a better look on the inside, you could see some sparklies and some crud sitting here hanging out towards the top of the filter. But you could see kind of like a buildup of glue towards the bottom. I know it's kind of hard to make out on the camera. Plus, there's a lot of oil trapped down in there. But yeah, just a little buildup of glue down there. Nothing to the point where I'd say, oh, hey, don't buy this filter at all. But this little sucker is interesting right here. That's a little chunk of glue right there. So that's kind of a tad bit disconcerting, but I've definitely seen worse in my days. But going into the pleats themselves, when we break out the blinding flashlight again, hopefully I don't kill your guys' screens. Not really seeing anything too crazy. Seeing some buildup of little chunks of metal here and there, and seeing some clumps of dirt and debris. So the filter was doing its job. It was filtering well and doing what it had to, and I haven't found any ripped or torn pleats, but it's definitely a little disconcerting with how hard they are to bend and fold over, which could be blessing and a curse, but it's still kind of making me wonder if this filter was getting cooked by some way, shape, or form, just because, yeah, that's really, really taut to try to squeeze in. But yeah, as far as stuff being built up inside the pleats, I know it's easier to see on these bigger ones, and hopefully you guys can make some of that out on the camera. Try to get a little closer there. But yeah, and plus if the camera would focus too, that'd be awesome. But yeah, the filter looked like it did a fair job in holding up some stuff. Ooh, got a little big chunk of something right there. Interesting. Well, I'll definitely have to pass this over to the customer themselves and show this to them and say, hey, you know, there's some stuff floating around in here, and just want you to be aware of that. But yeah, looks like it did pretty decent. When it comes to Napa Gold filters, I've never turned people away from getting them. I've also offered other options in the price range that I've seen do better, and some things that I've stood by more than Napa Gold. But honestly, in my personal opinion, they've always been a solid choice of oil filter. But definitely kind of some interesting findings with this one. But the little bit of glue right there, a little bit of glue in there, I've seen way worse. Do not take that and go, oh, Napa Gold sucks. No, it's sometimes you get that in the manufacturing process. I've seen that before. That's no biggie at all. But yeah, she looked like she did pretty dang decent, but definitely interesting to see some of those little chunks floating around in there. But I will say I have definitely seen worse on engines that have lasted 100,000 miles more. But definitely of a note to bring up to the customer next time I get a chance to speak to them. Well, lastly, I guess all I can say when it comes down to the end of this inspection, taking a look at this used oil filter, would I recommend to my customers to keep purchasing Napa Gold filters, or to get Napa Gold filters? Or if you're interested in getting a Napa Gold filter, what should I say you should get one? Honestly, I don't see anything that would make me say no. I mean, I've seen better ones out there on the market myself, in my personal, humble opinion. So, I mean, if you're getting a good deal out of it, and, you know, the manufacturing process stays just as good as this, hopefully, in my opinion, a little bit better, with a little less glue thrown everywhere, but you get that sometimes on those bigger jobs. But honestly, if you're getting it for a good deal, I wouldn't say no to this oil filter. As long as you're keeping up with maintenance and you don't leave that thing in there for its entire, you know, life of the vehicle, you know, so to speak. But yeah, not too bad looking of a filter. Well, thank you all so very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope it was informative for you. This is a new style video on the channel, so if you guys want to see more of this, if you're one of my few reoccurring viewers on the channel, please leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I've got plenty of oil changes to do in the future for customers, and generally they leave me the oil filter and say dispose of it, get rid of it, which I dispose of it properly at a proper recycling center, guys. But you know, I might have the opportunity to do more of these with heavy diesel filters, marine diesel filters, normal car filters like this. Who knows? Sky's the limit when it comes to this kind of stuff. So yeah, I thought it'd just be fun to open up and inspect and get an idea of what's going on inside this oil filter and take you guys along for the ride. So if you guys want to see more of this, leave me a comment down below. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I have other automotive content on this channel as well. I do tool review video, wow, I cannot talk today. Tool review videos, build series on my Drift Mazda Miata, and anytime I can be turning a wrench and take you guys along for the ride to watch for repairs, or you know, just watch me bumble around and screw up and fix things, please consider subscribing and checking it out. Really helps me out. But yeah, I've been your host, Intake Manifold Gasket. I'm going to continue to act like a 15-year-old boy and polish my tool. So y'all have a good one.